Hello there, welcome back to Tunis and the Sons of Carthage. Last time we had a war against Spain. Didn't actually pan out too well. I was hoping that I could attack them on the mainland and destroy them there. Did not pan out as anticipated at all, and as a result of that we only managed to take Messina. Although we did win the war, it took far longer than I would have liked. But at least this way we can actually keep on making progress in theory. Next war we'll just grab, well, Palermo, and then we can hopefully grab Andalusia sometime soon, because that is actually the one province that I'm currently missing. It's just Andalusia and Palermo, two provinces though. So we'll probably be getting them rather soon. For the time being though, there's not really much we are going to do. I think I have everything required, so I don't think I'll be messing around too much down in, well, down in Egypt. So for the time being we'll just leave things as they are. I think we're going to be focusing on getting military tech up to level 16 before the next war, so we actually are on the same level as the Spaniards. But we'll see how this pans out. Worst case scenario, we'll have to go full piety for the morale boost rather than technology. But the goal here will be to take Andalusia and most likely Palermo during the next war. That is at least what we will be hoping for. So we'll see how it pans out. Hopefully we'll be able to pull something off here. Things are currently going well, not really much to report here, except for the fact that the Spanish do actually have a rather significant portion of their army currently stationed in Lucania, and also Portugal has become defender of the faith, so if I am to declare war, they will most likely join. Luckily enough, it seems like on our side we'll have Venice and the Ottomans supporting us, which would of course be really good. Venice basically means that we have superiority when it comes to fleet. They also have a huge amount of troops to dedicate to a potential war effort. Well, huge and huge, 36,000, but it's a lot more than our opponents, of course. And the Ottomans, of course, are the #1 power in the area, or at least southeastern area. France is probably the #1 power, especially considering they have Austria in their iron grip. But they haven't really done too much. They've taken a couple of pieces out of the whole Roman Empire, but they haven't really done much more than that. So it will be interesting to see how this turns out. As you know, the truce do run out in 1611, so I'm actually pretty confident here that we will declare war as soon as we get there. It shouldn't be an issue to do so. I'm pretty sure that my 32,000 men will be more than enough. The only real concern that I have at the current stage is the fact that my navy here needs upgrading. It will cost me 1178, and France just became a hell of a lot scarier. They just integrated Austria, or inherited. Probably integrated though. I'm a little bit unsure. They also apparently have cleaves in the Union. Well, no matter how I look at it, this isn't too good. But the fact that Spain has 33,000 men in southern Italy makes things a little bit more interesting. Spain then has basically none of their army in Spain itself, and of course that means that we are going to take this opportunity to, well, place my entire army there. And probably another 16,000 man army. Again, if I get the Ottomans and also Venice in on this, I'm pretty sure they can dominate southern Italy. And as such, if I put all of my men towards the war effort in Spain itself, then it should be fine. The only real concern with this plan, of course, is the fact that the Portuguese, should they join, will of course be a prominent opponent. Now, Venice is apparently at war with Milan and Provence, and that is of course really beneficial, because that means that Provence and Milan might be weakened enough to not bother joining at an early stage. And that is really beneficial to us, because that means I'll have less troops to worry about in Spain itself, and that is of course great no matter how we look at it. Now, since I am going to invade the Spanish mainland, I am going to build the army required to do so, basically just another, well, army to aid the current armies, if you will. So it's another 16k army that will be added. I know I could just use the templates, but since I'm not really making too many armies, don't expect losing these, I shouldn't have any problems, hopefully. But the goal will of course be to use my fleet to keep their everything at bay. So we're currently making 9 ducats a month. Army maintenance is actually at full, due to the fact that I did not turn it down. And since the truce runs out in, let's see here, oh, they're actually at war with Tuscany, Savoy and Venice, interesting. Now the truce runs out in April, so there's no real reason for me to take it down either. In fact, we're going to do something else here. We're going to up our fleet maintenance to get the fleet ready for War 2. We're also going to take integrated elites here. No reason not to. Diplomatic annexation cost minus 25%. Probably was a reason not to. War exhaustion when I consider everything, but we'll soldier on. And we're currently now 1 point away from our next dual diplomacy, which gives +1 to diplomatic relations. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, as I said here, the plan now is just to complete the 14 armies. I'm missing 2 cannons then. Anyways, I'm just going to complete the armies then, and then we'll go for a war here against Spain and see if we can actually deliver some proper damage. It will be an interesting one for sure. The fact that the Ottomans are at war, I'm not sure if that will actually, well, force me to wait a little bit before I declare. It might. So I have apparently built too few cannons, which is my bad, but they should be ready by April. So I'll just build them and we'll get this ready, if you will. So I'll get back to you once we're ready to declare war, I think. For now, we'll just wait. There we go, all the actors are on stage. There's a 24,000 men Spanish army in southern Italy, which again means that maximum amount of troops that they have at their homeland is 20,000. Portugal might be the wild card here since they have 60,000 troops, but I don't see that as a worry. I'm trying to figure out if Spain actually has a, 20,000, they have their entire army in this area. If I can block them off from walking through France, for instance, then boom, we suddenly have hell on earth for them. Which would be hilarious, all things considered. So what we're going to do is actually park our fleet in the area here. Now Portugal is actually waging 2 wars. Ahmednagar, they're currently truces with Jharkhand and Orissa. So what I'm actually thinking is that most of the Portuguese army is probably here, here and here. So we don't really have anything to worry about when it comes to the Portuguese army size. The only real question here is if I should wait a little bit longer to get the tech, or if I should just go to war now. Basically, it will be 1.5 years waiting time, which is a little bit more than I'm comfortable with, since Spain is currently in this, well, very vulnerable position. Unfortunately, since Venice is already at war with them, they will not be joining. But the goal will be to take Palermo. And as I said, I'm a little bit unsure how many troops are in question for both sides here. So we should probably have checked that first. But if I'm lucky now, again, then I can probably siege most of the Spanish provinces before they even realize what's going on, which again would be hilarious to do. So we'll just go straight for said plan, and hopefully it will not backfire horribly, and I'll be crying and screaming and whatnot. So there is probably some Portuguese forces here, but I want to figure out just how many. If they're not actually available at all, considering the ease at which. Oh, never mind. They actually have 30,000 troops at home. We need to go. And aid this army and destroy that Portuguese army once and for all. Basically, the goal would be to bring Portugal to a point where they are basically out of the war before it's even begun. But apparently, they do have one hell of an advantage in terms of morale, and also they have that little bit of military tactics. So we definitely need to focus on getting rid of Portugal here rather quickly. Unfortunately, they also have apparently a very big navy. I did not pay attention to this, and they attacked my navy, which is bad. They probably have an upgraded navy compared to mine. So we just need to get out of this battle with that navy as soon as we can. We lost one big ship, that's fine. But the big question here is now, can I use this army to actually destroy the Portuguese army before it becomes an issue? And I think the answer to that is no. I will try, however, and we'll see what happens here. I need to destroy, again, this Portuguese army before it becomes such a hassle that it can actually, well, destroy me. So I think what we're actually just going to do here is just retreat, try and siege, well, pick up battles carefully, if you will, and we'll work from there. Now, I should probably send a tiny army to siege Palermo, but I think we'll just have to keep our armies at home and try and drain Portugal out of this. It seems like every time Spain becomes even slightly vulnerable, they have some miracle counter, like Venice joining in a war late, Portugal being at their complete power when I'm attacking them at home. So there's a lot of things that are currently not working to my advantage, but I can probably make it work if I try to. Now, can we get there in time? We did, but we will win the battle of that just because of that. Probably not. But at the current stage, Portugal is actually doing a good job of feeding me a war score, and I'm actually inflicting some war exhaustion on them, but of course I'm getting quite a bit myself. Now, for Portugal to go out of this is going to take quite a while. We probably need to siege Lisbon. So again, I'll just be on the defensive for the time being. The fact that France is currently pointing or getting ready at the border here could potentially be positive for us, but seems like they're not really caring. So the Ottomans are actually in this war, aren't they? They are, but they're currently not really helping, which is of course not the best, but it is what it is. And I can't actually move any troops to Palermo, so I'm kind of reliant on Aragon or Naples to actually do that move for me. But right now my fleet is actually suffering quite a bit just from the fact that they can't make any moves. We did not get there in time, they completely destroyed that. So I'll allow them to attack the Aragonese army, and then we'll try and pop in here and see what happens. 5 years of autonomy. I think we'll take the inflation instead. It's going to be cheaper to get rid of. Black news indeed, a new king. Sultan. 633 is a better one. 330. Not helpful. But we can, as you can see, get mission strength, prestige, national unrest, and some tanks modifier. So, in that sense, things are good. But it's still not great. Let's see here. We're losing quite a bit of money from the reinforcements. So, I'm a little bit unsure how I want to handle this again. What was I actually thinking of doing here? Yes, we're going to see just how well of a... Never mind! Yes, that was actually what I was aiming for. How well of a never mind it would be. Anyways, I'll just allow my army to reinforce, and we'll use that as, well, battle tactics here. Now, as long as the Spanish army, navy, whatever, is actually kept over here, I don't really have too many things to worry about in this war. We will definitely, most likely, probably be able to win as long as things just keep on going as they are. And winning these smaller battles is actually quite important. Now that is a Spanish army, and it's actually going to Murcia, so we're actually going to keep it company, but we got there a little bit too soon. So we're going to get there on 20th, they're going to get there on 20th, so why not? Again here, I'm just going to keep my provinces safe. If I can just snatch one or two of their smaller armies, I'm happy with that too. There's actually a 9,000 Portuguese army being dropped here. And the funny thing here is they actually changed their landing zone before I even got to Murcia, so AI predicting being annoying, but of course I would have done the same if I had paid attention while playing. So I guess it makes sense. But we'll be going for, of course, attacking the armies that we can. These smaller, weaker armies that are easy prey, just glorious. But shouldn't I be able to... Still have to wait. Spain has apparently got some tea and sugar. Why did you lift your siege? Why? Why did you do that? Anyways, again, Portugal here is actually the bigger threat in this scenario. So I guess we'll just have to try and wait them out here. But I'll keep a fight in defensive battles. If I lose any big or win big, I'll show you, but other than that, you can expect more of what you currently have had. I might go into a positive here if I manage to dislodge my navy here and potentially get into a battle with the rest of the Portuguese navies, provided of course that I don't get completely hammered here. We might be able to destroy the Portuguese navy, of course, and that would be beyond wonderful. We have already destroyed pieces of it. I currently don't have suffered too much damage to my fleet. They were up against a pretty strong Ottoman fleet, but they basically, I think, have too many heavy ships for us to effectively here make a mark on them. So we're just going to go to Corsica, and we're actually going to create a couple of mercenary soldiers to siege Palermo. The only reason why we're currently losing this war is because Palermo is worth about 11 war score. So, or 11 war score in terms of... You're kidding me. Apparently I can't hire mercenaries on these two islands, so that's an interesting one, but it's reality. So I think what we're going to do is just sail down to my mainlands and pick up a couple of mercenaries from there. I'm kind of trying to keep away from, well, Portugal here, because I don't want to get into a war with them. Now their army here is actually starting to look a little bit weakened. I've fought a couple of battles with it. They actually managed to destroy the Aragon navy and army when I wasn't paying attention. So I kind of feel bad about that, but it is what it is. And luckily enough now, I have sacrificed a lot of manpower already.
But I think that if I manage to win this and then hunt down the army, it should be fine. But apparently, yeah, we got 3 modifiers just... 3 modifiers to land for crossing and terrain, so it's not good, but we are forcing out the winds here, forcing them to hand out some manpower. We are gaining quite a bit of manpower, well, 500 is not quite a bit really, but you get the idea. We're getting manpower a month, so at the current stage I don't have any worries in terms of running out of, well, manpower. Now, this is kind of interesting. Destroy that, please. So again here, the Spanish don't actually have a fleet of their own, which is an atrocity, to be perfectly honest. They are investing in soldiers and sheer force rather than anything else. Now, Portugal is still high in terms of wanting to continue this war, but at least we are getting there. I'm currently just waiting out, sacrificing the manpower to keep things, keep the status quo, if you will. And I think that is going to continue for quite a while. As long as Spain is still stuck in Italy, we should be fine. But I definitely need to hand the Portuguese a fatal blow if I want to win this. So I think we're going to try and go with them here into attacking one of my armies. As things currently stands, I should probably have done this ages ago because I didn't pay attention again. But military attack 16 finally. Combat width increased by 1, artillery fire by 1, artillery shock by 0.1, and we now get access to a new type of cannon and can build an arsenal. I should have done that ages ago, just didn't pay attention. I'm so used to this thing always being there. But at least now we can fight, well, fairly, to some degree. And I think we're also going to take a boost here to our stability to just try and help the money a little bit. Right now it's suffering quite a bit from basically everything. So, yeah. But the goal now will be to upgrade cannons, and then we'll just sit by and wait for them. Hopefully I can go with the Portuguese into attacking one of these 2 armies, and hopefully that way we'll be able to beat them back. But we'll see. I just need to actually siege this province and then we'll be fine. Now, Provence, just getting them out of this already could be wonderful, and I'll take your money, thank you. You didn't have too much money. Well, you'll pay me some war reparations then. And there we go, we got Provence out of it, which unfortunately lowers my war score here, hilariously enough. But Portugal is definitely going to be the next big target to get out. There's 40 points between, well, before we can get them out, so it's still going to take a while, unfortunately. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting rid of this Portuguese fleet right here by either piecing them out or whatever. But the entirety of the Italian army is actually stuck in Italy, and that is, to be perfectly honest, the way I like it. So as long as that keeps up, we should be fine. Now we've taken a bank loan, which is not surprising. Do I want to try and attack them in Jaén? I don't think I have too much of a choice, provided of course I can catch them. But as you can see, we're having morale issues, really severe morale issues. But I think that I'm going to try now and hunt down the Portuguese army. I can't really wait too much longer before trying to do this. If I do, I'm probably just going to get painfully, well, suffer painfully for it. So if I can hunt it down, I should be able to hopefully force a couple of battles here that will lead to it being destroyed. Well, or we can just do that. That works too. Portugal is the main contendant or main enemy now to get out of the war rapidly. So we're just going to siege everything they own. Almost of the... No! Where did you come from? It's not fair! I did not see that one coming. Jesus. Portugal is apparently the real power in these waters. I underestimated Portugal by a long shot. But anyways, we're going to end it here. I've dragged this episode out far too long. My apologies. Feel free to comment any comments, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and we'll see if my army gets destroyed next time. Bye.